I am the talent. It's time to play Minecraft. Welcome back to my workshop and another episode of the Minecraft Slowrun. So much has happened since the last episode, we've got a lot of catching up to do. Let's start with the inspiration for today's episode, The Road to Knowledge. Ali-kun was telling me about all the books he's been reading this summer, and I was jealous. I mean, wow, he's been reading way more than I have. I've really got to catch up. So, I came back to Sunny World and went to our old mountain base. It's a nice, quiet place to find a good book and have some quality, peaceful reading time. And that's when I noticed someone had left a book on this lectern. Aha! Smart Riddle by Ali-kun. The road to knowledge begins with a single step. As every book begins with a single page. Well, it looks like Ali-kun has set us out on another adventure. Let's try to find out what he means by this. Before we work on Ali-kun's riddle, there's something else you've probably noticed by now. We've gone full Netherite. That's right, we've upgraded all our diamond armor and tools to Netherite. And we still have more for our backup gear. I didn't really plan on going ancient debris mining, but it all started when I realized it was taking way too long and was way too dangerous collecting quartz by flying around the surface of the nether wastes. So here's a clip of me deep in the nether after finally reaching my goal. Well, I find myself back in the nether. I didn't really want to do this, but I had to get the quartz anyway. I picked up 144 ancient debris. That is enough for 4 blocks of netherite. The only trouble is, I had to come a really long way to get here. If you take a look at the coords, we are 5,000 blocks away in the X direction and 800 in the Z direction. So I was thinking, what I could do is just pack everything up in the ender chest, just like the way I escaped the end. Just pack everything up in the ender chest and throw myself into a giant pool of lava. But I do have 70 levels, and I don't really want that to go to waste. I'm going to need those levels to upgrade my tools. So now I'm going to be digging through the netherrack about 5,000 blocks. I will catch you all back at the base. After running through the nether. On the journey home, I cut a path deep in the nether underneath the lava sea, collecting more quartz and more ancient debris, dodging and weaving past lava pools, backtracking to get around basalt deltas, and thinking the whole time how cool it would be to upgrade all our tools to netherite. Honestly, I don't want to see the nether again for a very long time. After I got back, I was so excited to show off all the loot I collected, so I actually did the netherite upgrades on a live stream. So definitely check out the video for that stream and you can see me crafting up and playing around with 5 whole blocks of netherite. Those 5 blocks didn't last long though. We broke them down real quick so we could upgrade all our gear. And let's just take a look at the stats. I want to see how much netherrack I had to punch through in order to get all of that debris. So here we go, times 94,000. Wow, and it dwarfs stone like 9 to 1. 94,000. As I said, I don't want to be back in the nether for a very long time. Okay, but now it's time to get serious. We've got a riddle to solve. The road to knowledge begins with a single step. And in our case, The road to knowledge begins with a trail of torches leading across the landscape from our farm, extending all the way from our farms and along the flat area of the meadow here, up through these hills, and then around this way until it finally makes its way up to the top of the meadow. So I think my plan is going to be to next add some of the basic road materials in there. I've got a few path blocks right now, and we'll have a decent start to our road. All right, so now I've started adding in some of the layers. I've added some stone brick and a little bit of spruce, but also coarse dirt and gravel. I think this helps to bring out a lot of definition in the road. So we still have a lot more to fill in, but I just wanted to see how this looked so far. And also, one of the big challenges coming next is how to deal with these elevation changes, especially these really steep parts here, where we're going to have to end up using some stairs. But it's going to be tricky to make the stairs actually look decent. Instead of being a really steep slope going straight up at a 45-degree angle, we're going to try to really... Okay. I'm probably not going to be able to have a conversation about this until I sleep. As I was saying, the steep part of the hill right here is going to be a real challenge. So I'm going to try to experiment with some different stair blocks and slabs and see if we can come up with something that doesn't look like a terribly steep slope that nobody would want to walk on. All right, I will check in a little bit once I've made a little bit more progress. How you doing? The road has finally come together nicely. For the most part, we used path blocks, spruce, stone brick, gravel, coarse dirt, and mud bricks, which really go well with these colors, and they also make a funny sound when you walk on them. I added a little bit of cobblestone and plain stone. I stayed away from mossy stone varieties because I'm planning to use them in other builds around the area, but it probably wouldn't hurt to add some into the mix here and there. The steep sections where we had to use stairs were a real challenge, but I think what I came up with works well. I was afraid that too many stairs would look overwhelming, but by using a mix of different stair types and adding some slabs around the sides, it blends in nicely with the flat stretches of the road. I thought about sprinkling in a few cobbled deep slate, andesite, or smooth stone, but I didn't really think they would add that much extra detail. I also like to use moss in place of grass or dirt where the elevation changes because it has a nice lush green on all sides, so you can avoid having to see the side of the dirt block showing through. I also really like my lamppost design. These light up the path really well and makes the road look like it's really well traveled and a nice friendly road. And the lamps really make this road look great at night. But you may be wondering, why did I build a road that seems to go nowhere? I mean, it just stops right up here on top of the meadow. Don't you remember Ollie Kuhn's riddle? This is the road to knowledge. And knowledge is what we've got inside these shulker boxes right here. So let's get this build started, and then you'll see why this is a road that you will want to travel. The road to knowledge begins with a single step. As every book begins with a single page. And now we've got our library at the end of the road to knowledge. This library was an absolute joy to build, although I gotta say, it was tricky. It's quite an expansive build, and there's still some parts around the side that aren't quite complete, but overall, I really like the combination of the quartz pillars, the quartz bricks, quartz blocks, and so calcite and diorite mixed in there really gives it a little bit of an ancient feel to it, and it's a really grand design. I think it works very well. It's really the perfect addition to our little expanding village here. Perched up here on top of the meadow. Not quite fitting on top of the meadow, though. I'm going to have to fix that. But I think we've done enough for today. Enough for this episode. From on top of our base, we can get a great view, not only of the road that we just made with all of the lanterns lighting up the path all the way to our library. The road to knowledge. I can't wait for Ollie Kuhn to come back so we can go to the library and read our favorite books together. Good job on all the reading you're doing this summer, Ollie Kuhn. I miss you. See you soon.